Yeah. Welcome to a very special episode of Open Your Toys Cast, the podcast dedicated to the four greatest action figure franchises of the 80s and all time. And those are Cliff.
Masters of the Universe, Star Wars, Transformers, and G.I. Joe, a real American hero.
Well, we got people joining us. I'm surprised. Roger won't be with us today. He's got family stuff. For us Christians, it's a holiday today.
He has risen.
That's my father-in-law went to church with one of his friends, and that's what he wrote, because we had our Easter yesterday, mainly because we had this podcast today, and so he's like, yeah, I went to my church with my friend and he has risen. And so I sent him a Buddy Christ gif that says stay calm and buddy on, or buddy on, Jesus bro, or something like that.
Now, I usually do like the cheeky thing, and I wear my Return of the Living Dead shirt on Easter.
Oh, nice! I like that.
But I'm just wearing Jackie Daytona today.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm rocking my Special Olympic. Oh, I even got my name tag still on.
Yeah, hey. There you go.
Yeah, this was my first practice with Special Olympics today, because our first practice was actually last weekend, but I had a prior work obligation. I had to sell at a toy show last weekend.
Oh, how'd that go?
It went well. Not as good as I hoped. We'll get into that when we start talking about this episode. So, like I mentioned before, this is going to be a very special episode of Open Your Toys Cast. Sometimes it makes, well, all the time, all the past times, it's made Cliff sad, but I have a feeling he's got a new perspective this time around.
Free, Jason.
We're going to be talking about the state of collecting in 2025. I didn't realize we hadn't done one of these since 2021. It's been that long.
Because they're fucking bleak, dude. Has it really been 4 years? Yeah, because how long's Rock been gone? Rock's been gone, what, like 2 years now?
Yeah, and that's what I was noticing, and I'll put this out to people that are joining us. If you'd like to jump on and talk about how your collecting habits are changing, staying the same, whatever, let me know in the comments, and I'll post the link. Maybe not in the comments, but maybe in like the Facebook group. And if you're not a member of the Facebook group, we'll figure out a way to get you on. But anyways, but we're glad that some people are here to kick it with us. Cowabunga Dude's here, of course. What's up, buddy? So if you want to kick it with us, we want you to do it here live every other Sunday, even on holidays, for the most part. If you can't make it to the live shows, kick it with us in our Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/open your toys. You just want to know when the newest show is going to be posted, you can follow us at facebook.com/open your toys cast. If you want to see what we're talking about, normally we're no show notes for this show, but normally you can go to openyourtoys.com. At the top of the page there'll be links to everything we're talking about, including how to subscribe to us through Amazon and Apple Podcasts, RSS feeds. You can email, voicemail, support the show, all that kind of fun stuff. So where can they find you, Cliff?
Oh, they can find me creeping around on Instagram as Red Menace. Oh, no, wait. Associate of Horror on Instagram. And then if I post in the group, it says Red Menace. But also, hold on. I don't know if I have a eBay name.
I don't think it's usually just like this really long set of numbers.
Oh, no, I actually have my name on eBay is Associate of Horror.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All one word. I've been a member for 11 years, almost to the day, April 8th. And I'm going to be liquidating, and we'll get into it, But there's going to be some shit on there that I'm selling, guys. And come on over and buy something.
So go add him as a safe search. I have Rock as a safe search. Add me as a safe search. So my link's in the show notes, and then Cliff will get your link in the show notes after this show as well. So mine's pretty easy. Like Rock posts stuff like almost every day on there, it seems like. Well, in spurts. Mine, it's usually like once a week I post like 50 things all in one shot. So you won't get spammed constantly if you safe search me, and then you'll get to see when new stuff goes up. So, and then obviously if you know me and you want to transact outside of eBay, it gets a little tricky because I'll give you 15% off of eBay prices, but because eBay like subsidizes shipping by like half off, sometimes you won't save that much by me selling it off of eBay and then having to pay full postage to get it to you. Sometimes eBay is just the best way. So, but yeah, I've got tons of stuff up there, over 150 things right now. I've sold over 300 things in the last 6 months. So that's been nice, averaging about $3,000 a month in sales. So, finally doing what I should have been doing for about 3 or 4 years now. So, but sorry, we keep going off on tangents here. What are you drinking? Some lemon water there?
Lemon water in my big gulp because it's quieter. My other thing is metal, and was
seal.
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
So
yeah, those are obnoxious. Me, I finally ran out of PBRs, so I had to go to the liquor store today, and I'm glad I did because I found a new flavor of twisted tea.
Pineapple.
Ooh,
I bet that's good.
Twisted tea. Yeah, it just tastes like pineapple. That's the problem. Like you don't get a good tea taste. You need you need a tea taste in there, in my opinion. But
I love tea. It's fucking delicious.
Yeah,
fuck the haters. It's so yummy.
Yeah, me too. I've even started, like, we usually don't have a lot of juice in the house, but I started getting lemonade so I can make Arnold Palmer's with my sun tea. So,
oh, you got sun tea? I haven't had sun tea since the 80s. My mom used to make sun tea on our deck. Yeah.
Why don't you make it? You're home all day.
Because it's just easy. It literally, you know how long it takes me to make a jug of iced tea? 3 minutes. That's it. 3 minutes.
What do you use? The powdered stuff or what?
No, we have the I think it's Louisiane. I don't know. I think it's Louisiane. It's like in a red box.
Yeah.
You put 4 bags in. You fill a gallon of water up. We have a teapot. You pour water in the teapot over the 4 bags. 4 bags go in the microwave for 3 minutes. Take it out. I let it cool for about an hour. Pour it into the gallon with the rest of the water. Shake it up. Put it in the fridge. It's we have tea down to a science in this house. If we're running low on tea could be made in seconds. Because pretty much every person in this house drinks it.
Oh, see, and I'm the only one that drinks it. My daughter will do Arnold Palmer's, like she likes tea with lemonade, but I think it's just because she likes lemonade. I don't, because she doesn't like tea by itself. So, yeah, for me, it's fucking, I get the gallon bags of Lipton, fucking throw 1 bag in there, fill it up, put it on our back porch for the day, and boom, perfect.
Oh, I should do that. I should go get a jug at Target because it's just one of those mason jar looking jugs with a little spout at the bottom of it.
Yeah,
right?
and this is where you'll have a hard time. Is like I was brought up on glass. All of them you find nowadays are
plastic.
Yeah, so
that's just the way of the world.
I found this glass one at a King Supers one time, like on clearance at the end of summer. And I haven't gone back. It's leaked a few times, and I've put some like fucking JB Weld around the
I was gonna say it's a quick weld.
Yeah,
you're like mixing it. You can mix in the epoxy on the cardboard package.
So, because I'm like, it's got to be in glass, dude. You can't do plastic.
Yeah.
Covers.
You could, but I mean, what everything the internet's telling me about microplastics. But it sounds like I'm 80% plastic now, just the life I've lived.
Oh.
So,
Brinkalizer says tea stains plastic something awful.
you don't have to tell me. I this is my tea jug, and what I do on Friday nights, because I drink tea Monday through Friday at work. I scrub the shit out of this just to get the tea stains out of it.
Yeah.
Our dishwasher runs pretty hot.
Microplastics for you.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I get the tea stains out of this, and then I replace the straw because by the end of the week, this clear straw is brown.
Oh. Yeah, well, that's good that you think with the straw. That's what my dentist says. Is like, how do you have all these stains on your teeth? You don't drink coffee, you don't smoke. And I'm like, oh, I drink tea. And he's like, drink it with a straw. I'm like, that's no fun. I don't like that. Brigalizer says, hope you found all your eggs. We're too poor to die. Eggs
are not that expensive. I understand they're way more than they used to be. But I just bought a dozen eggs, and it was like $5.50. Which would, from what I've heard, I was expecting $20.
Oh, yeah. Ours and we go to Sam's Club or to Costco, and they've been like $6 for 18 there forever, all this crisis. What makes Colorado's a little bit more expensive is this is like, I would say I lean left, but I'm not like ultra progressive. Our ultra progressive here passed a law that any eggs sold in Colorado have to be free range chickens, have to come from free range chickens. So that's keeping our price up a little bit above the national average here.
That's probably better because at least the chickens are happier. I saw a documentary about chickens and it really depressed me.
It is. It's just the things we vote into law here. It's like, come on, you want to buy free range chickens? We have free range chickens, but now you have no choice. So, but it's all good.
Also, a smoking update. I am now on step 3.
Ooh, nice.
So I only have about, I think, 12 more days on the patch, and then I'm done.
Interesting. Nice. Wow, with your willpower, I'm sure that's all you need. I'm sure there won't be any backsliding like most people.
It shouldn't. I mean, the cravings are pretty much. Driving still sucks because I'm so used to smoking and driving. But the cravings are pretty much gone, so I'm not too worried.
What I hated the most about driving when I stopped smoking was seeing other people smoke. That's what drove me nuts.
It still stings when I'm watching a movie and somebody lights up. I'm like, fucker.
Yeah, watching shows too, bring those cravings back. But I'm not nearly as good as you because I'm still leaning on my little electric dick crush over here. Crutch, not crush.
Wait, man. It's your business.
All right. So, state of collecting. So, why don't we just start off? Cliff, you've talked about it on the show. I don't know how much you've talked about it on the show or how much we've talked about it off the show. It all kind of blurs together.
Yeah, it does.
When I take a lot of shots. But why don't you kind of just talk about where you're at right now and what led you up to this? And why don't you go into maybe not your life story, but maybe last year or two, what's influenced your feelings about collecting?
Okay, so right now, as it stands, I am on I'm totally out of new purchases right now.
Okay. So no pre-orders, no nothing.
There is no pre-order on I have no pre-orders. I've canceled everything, even the retro 6-pack with the Dr. Evazan and the Luke. I did, yeah.
I thought that was okay. All right.
Well, the only figure I would want out of that, the only figure I need out of that is Dr. Evazan. I customized the Yavin Luke. I have the Stan Solo Stormtrooper Han. I have the Stan Solo Rebel Fleet Trooper. I have a
Yes,
custom
that's true.
Sand Trooper.
Okay.
I don't need Walrus Man. I have an actual Kenner Walrus Man. So I just decided to cancel it, just to level the playing field. And I faced my biggest test on Friday when McFarlane put up all the Superman stuff. And I didn't. And I have anybody who's listened to this show long enough knows that I have a Superman focus.
Yeah.
I buy all the Superman figures. I pre-ordered nothing. Obviously, I'm going to pick up the movie Superman. I'm just going to pick him up on site in the wild when I see him.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pre-order him. I've learned now from all the DC movies that McFarlane puts enough out. I'll see him at least once. Like, I'm not too worried.
Yeah.
I'm more excited for the Spin Master stuff anyway, because the Spin Master stuff are toys.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Instead of like a collector figure. I want to see what Spin Master does, like in terms of like actual toys. But so I didn't buy any of the. Go ahead.
And just real quick, just because a listener brought it, and it's been forever since he brought this up, and I keep forgetting to correct you. It's not Fairlane. It's not like Ford Fairlane. It's Farlane.
Farlane. Yeah,
okay.
It's Todd McFarlane. I'm always going to say Todd McFarlane because I come from a time where I was reading Spawn when I was like 12.
And that's how you read it in your
mind.
mind.
That's how I read it. It was a few years before he was introducing the Spawn series on HBO, and I got to hear it.
Hear the name.
And that's exactly why I say McFarlane, because I was a fan of Ford Fairlane. Because that movie's fucking awesome. Fight me.
It is good. I like it.
But yeah, so McFarlane.
Yeah. Fair is if there's an I in it.
If we're talking about the first series, Todd Toys.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that tripped me out because, like I say, I know you even just recently talked about how you changed superpowers and now you're going all in on it and that kind of stuff. And, and Superman, now granted, it's not like it's a new Superman that we don't even know about yet. And that's where I steer clear. Like, I'm no longer buying toys from something I haven't seen yet. So that's why I didn't pre-order anything, but especially not to do, what do they call his retreat?
The Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah, Fortress of Solitude.
His retreat. What do they call his fortress that he stays in alone? What is that place called? His Castle of Loneliness.
So that's the one that really surprised me, because I'm like, even if you're not a fan of that movie, it's a semi-good representation of that.
Again, though,
things
it reads very diorama. Like, it's not like the Hall of Justice. Yeah, which was a play set. Like, it's like kind of like a backdrop of crystals, a chair, and like a computer screen. And again, if I see that in the wild, like, I've seen every superpowers vehicle in the wild.
Oh, okay.
I have no reason to think that I'm not going to see that Fortress of Solitude somewhere.
Yeah, I can't imagine that it'll be that.
The figures are really hit and miss, but I've seen all the vehicles.
Yeah.
Like, even the Batmobile, I saw 3 or 4 times. Like, But so I've completely cut off new toys. I might get something here and there. Right now, I have a goal of no new purchases till June 1st. Yeah. And that's just kind of a goal that I'm gonna keep setting back. So, like, on June 1st, I'll say, great, nothing new until July 1st, and then just keep. And I'm going to be liquidating a large chunk of my collection, mainly because I have 2 storage units. And really, and this is kind of where we get into, like, I've been very open on this podcast about my addiction. and my recovery, I think I've been treating collecting like an addiction and kind of been ignoring it. So here's kind of like, and I know toy collectors will understand this. So buying toys is kind of like my using.
Yeah.
It's like I've been buying all these toys.
It's a little dopamine hit, right?
Yeah, it is.
Every
It's a
time you
dopamine hit.
secure something. Yeah.
And I got to be completely honest. I am not the biggest fan of Hasbro 6-inch. Marvel Legends, when I get, or G.I. Joe Classified, when I get them, when I try to like manipulate them in my hands, I'm like, how do kids play with these? And I don't think they do.
Yeah, no.
They have so many straps and like it's so hard to. So I'm not a huge fan of those, but I keep buying them because like that was like the dopamine hit. And then here's what's kind of fucked up about it. For the past couple months, I've been kind of having this like crisis of my collection is giving me some great anxiety because it's in 2 storage units and it's fucking ridiculous. And I don't drink, I don't smoke now. I don't use any kind of mind or mood altering substance. So I've been well, yeah, caffeine. The caffeine doesn't really affect me. But here's what's kind of fucked up. I've been anxious and depressed about my collection, and I've been self-medicating with retail therapy. So in essence, I have been treating the anxiety caused by my out-of-control collection by buying more.
Yeah, and that's what I thought was interesting when you told me about that.
That's like a self-diagnosis I kind of had to, once you pull back and you realize that. And I'm sure people have noticed over the past, I would say like 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks, maybe the past couple months, I've been salty and aggressive and really passive aggressive towards Slick specifically. I feel like me and Roger have been teaming up on Slick, and that's just because when I would come on the show and we would talk about toys, I was just so fucking angry at what I have let my collection become that I was taking it out on Slick, unfortunately. And me and him have had offline chats, so we're good. But that's kind of where I'm at. So right now, I've already picked up, I went to both storage units. I've pulled every single G.I. Joe Classified figure. I have them here in a tub.
Nice.
I'm going to sell them all. Every single G.I. Joe Classified. The only one I'm keeping is Retro Duke.
Interesting.
Because I like Retro Duke.
Yeah.
He sits on my shelf, and I like him. Maybe at one point, I'll sell him. But right now, he's only getting about $12 loose, so I'm not too worried. So I'm going to keep Retro Duke, but every single G.I. Joe Classified figure is going to go. Then, once I'm done with those, I'm going to move on to my Marvel Legends. And there's going to be some Marvel Legends I'll keep. I'll probably keep my Wolverines. I'll probably keep my Captain Americas. I'm definitely keeping my Jim Lee X-Men.
Okay.
Basically, the cast of the X-Men the animated series.
Yeah.
Everything else, fair game. I'm probably going to sell all my Eternals. I have all of them. I have all the Eternals. I have the Build-A-Figure. I have the Angelina Jolie Target exclusive. I have the Salma Hayek Walmart exclusive. I'll probably sell them all as a lot for like $40.
I was going to say they're probably about worth $3 a piece.
About $5 each. So yeah. So like, and that's just. And then once I'm done with the Marvel Legends, I'll start looking at other things. I've already found some stuff. Like, check this out. Let me see if he should be on top. I found, while I was kind of digging through my storage unit, I found this Spawn statue. Do you remember when McFarlane was making a line called Color Tops?
No.
He made a series called Color Tops, and they were basically static statues. And I bought Spawn Rebirth. He's just like a static statue. He comes with like a little display stand. I was looking on eBay. This guy goes for like $40. I don't need this guy. I got the Mortal Kombat Spawn, or I got the Kickstarter Spawn. I don't need him. Nice. Like, so it's all about. So I'll start with the G.I. Joe Classifieds. I'll move to the Marvel Legends. Once I'm done with those, I'll start seeing, because what I'm going to do now with my storage unit, so my 10 by 10 that I've had for like 8 years is outdoor. And I have a 5 by 10 that's indoor. That's where my vintage 1960s jukebox is that plays 45s.
Oh, wow. Did not know you owned one of those. That's crazy.
It was my father's. I got it.
That's awesome.
It's a Seeburg.
Don't know. I can actually.
Seeburg is like the most prominent jukebox company.
Oh,
okay. Like if you were at a bar in the 70s or the 80s and you were playing jukeboxes, chances are it was a Seeburg.
Okay.
And while you're talking, I'll get the model number and you can pull it up if you want, because it's a cool looking jukebox. It's got
does it have the water thing?
Like no, it's older than that. It's older than that. Yeah. So my plan is to eventually have one 10 by 10 indoor unit, because let me tell you something, guys. The scam of storage units is once you're renting past 6 months, they realize you're probably not leaving anytime soon, and they start jacking that price up like $10 to $15 every 4 months. And that's what I've been dealing with my 10 by 10. So I'm going to get a 10 by 10 in the indoor place, move the jukebox into there, move all my nephew's going to help me. We're going to rent a truck next month, and we're going to completely move everything. Then I'm going to keep the 10 by 5 unit as a mailroom, and that's where I'll bring various boxes of toys, because most of my toys are not inventoried. So there's thousands of shit I forgot I had.
Yeah.
And that's going to be for at least a month or two, and then eventually I'll get rid of that. But I'll bring boxes in there. I'll go through them. I'll determine if there's anything sellable. I'll take pictures. I'll list them. Then I'll sell them on eBay. And then I'll print up the labels and shit. And then I'll go to the unit and pack the boxes.
Now you prepared to do, because we talked about handling time, right? Because you're going to do eBay for primarily these sales, right?
Yes, all eBay.
Yeah, so it'll, like I say, that wouldn't be feasible for me just because I have a 1-day handling time on mine. So like when you order it, and I say I ship it the next day. So
I'm going to put a thing like, listen, I work a job. All orders will be shipped Saturday morning.
Oh, nice. Okay. I mean, and that's fine. Like I say, to me, if you're buying old toys and you can't wait a few days for your package to ship, then you kind of need to rethink your priorities.
I'll be completely honest with you. When I buy shit on eBay, like once it's purchased, I kind of forget that I bought it until it shows up.
Yeah, exactly. When I go to leave, because I don't leave feedback until I go through my orders and update JOMO and my toy budgeting and all this kind of stuff. So I don't do that except for like once a month. And so by the time I go to leave feedback, I'm like, one toy took forever to get here, but I can't even remember what toy that was. So my feedback is always like, item as described. Thanks so much. Like that. That's
mine's like A+++. Can't wait to do business again. Like I don't care. I just paste it. But yeah.
Hold on real quick. We got Mark Bricks 77 in the house. That's Mr. Mark from Down Under. Glad to see you here. God, if I remember correctly, I think it's like 7 a.m. or something.
It's I know from my friend Chloe that they are 13 hours ahead of us.
Okay. All right. So Jesus Christ. So it's 5:30 in the morning for them. Ahead of you. 6:30.
13 hours ahead of me.
Yeah. So 6:30 in the morning. And AAA just joined. Oh, he's saying 1:30 in the morning. Well, he's got to know what time it is. I'm like, are you sure? Or maybe that's a typo. AAA's with us as well. Again, if anybody wants to come on, let us know. 8:30 right now. There we go. Oh, I see the eyes right below the 8 on the keyboard. So 8:30.
Chloe, it's 6:30 Chloe's time, but she's in Cary Park, which is near Brunbury. Brunbury. I don't know what it's called.
That's got to be like the East or the West Coast, and Mark's
Yeah.
on the East Coast probably. Triple A's here as well. Like I say, if you guys want to come on, just mention in the chat. Like I say, you don't have to share your screen or anything, or you just want to type up a message in the comments. We'll read it on there. But so you're not out of collecting, but just putting a serious pause on everything while you regroup and you figure everything out. Is that where you feel you're at, or are you literally working towards thinking you're going to stop collecting?
I'm working towards stopping collecting. I'm working towards being the guy who every once in a while, like, I'll always read about toys. I was doing that when I was using. I was still like keeping up with Toy News International.
Well,
like,
that was Lotus, right? Lotus was like, I still love Toy News, and he's like, I love he still for months and months after he left the show, he's still in our secret chat today because there's no reason for him not to be in there. He would post toys from toy runs, and that's what he always said. He's like just seeing them and taking a picture of them was fine. Like that gave me a sense of like accomplishment, again, that I don't know if it'd be considered a dopamine hit, but a feeling of, hey, I found something, kind of thing, saw something new, that kind of shit.
Yeah, but the days of me pre-ordering like entire waves, no, like done. And then we'll see how that affects my customizing, because like, will I want to customize if I'm not collecting?
Well, and that's what I was going to say. That's the kind of nice thing about all your stuff being loose too, is as you go through and sell stuff, like, I mean, I can imagine you could have a fucking amazing like custom fodder, like this figure sells for $3 loose. Are you really going to take the time to take pictures of it, go to your storage, pack it up, to make $1.75 after eBay fees,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but I just want to, like, most of the stuff I've bought in the past like 5 years can go.
Interesting.
Most of the modern stuff.
Well,
modern specifically.
So yeah, and I've talked about a long time, like if I had to cut everything down to like a single line, what would that be, or whatever. So even Lotus kept his GoBots, and he kept his World's Smallest Transformers collection, because they're like, he's like, both of them take up like a shot glass case, kind of thing. So if you got completely out, what would you keep, if anything? Mask, that's it?
Mask,
no Superpowers, no Star Wars vintage?
Mask I would keep, and I would keep Superpowers Superman and Superpowers Clark Kent, which are my two favorite figures in my collection.
Interesting.
And I have those in little like little plastic cylinders.
Pieces.
Yeah. Acrylic cylinders.
Star Wars?
Probably not, no. Like, what you're telling me, if I got rid of everything, like, I'm not getting right now, those are not on the chopping block, and I'm telling you right now, like, what stays is vintage Kenner. Like,
interesting. Okay.
Like, here's how, like, I'm even going to sell my classified HISS tank. My doctor, my physician, is probably buying my Razor Crest and my Big Millennium Falcon.
Nice.
For his son. I'm selling it to him for retail. Like, I'm giving it to him what I paid for him.
Have you looked at what the BMF goes for? What does that even go for nowadays? It's got to be.
The BMF can go from anywhere between like $550 and $1,100, like depending on what day it's sold. But I want, like, giving him first crack at them is more important to me, because I know they're going to go to a good home. They're going to go to a child who wants to play with them, and I don't have to deal with shipping them.
Yeah, that's the big thing too.
Remember, I got the second BMF. I got the one with Hondo.
Oh, you got the Target one.
I got the Smuggler's Run one, yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So
Well,
those were 400 for the Millennium Falcon and 350 for the Razor Crest.
Jesus Christ.
Because
Yeah.
here's the thing, it's like, then this is the last point, and then I'll let you go into Jomo.
Well, no, you're good.
What it comes down to is, what do I want to display? Do I want to display Sherwood Forest from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves? Or do I want to display a classified HISS tank? Well, Sherwood Forest.
Yeah.
What do I want to display? Do I want to display Spawn Alley from 1994, which I had as a kid and I played with as a kid? Or do I want to display the Razor Crest? It's going to be Spawn Alley, because Spawn Alley has a memory.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see as I eliminated things like keeping a couple collections, like I've always talked about, like a chug based movie Transformers the movie, the Transformers the movie collection. But yeah, I mean, I would think a lot of the stuff, like even if I sold all my vintage Joes, I would keep any vintage Joes that meant a lot to me, and not just ones I had, like Chuckles and Firefly and stuff. I would keep probably a lot of the ones I wanted, like my Bat, and what else? Like probably a regular Cobra Commander, which I never had, but it's kind of like the quintessential vintage. It would be like I never had a vintage Vader, but I would probably keep my vintage Vader, kind of thing. So, well, that's interesting. Well, so with that, I assume we still have some people that are collecting that are watching this. Hit Cliff up. It probably won't be right away, but probably as soon as you get stuff inventoried, right, and get a reasonable price, I assume you'd probably be willing to sell things in bulk lots if people were interested in shit and that kind of thing. So.
Well, I'm going to be listing. I'm waiting for you to send me over that spreadsheet you promised me, where I can.
Oh, I know. I totally forgot. I'm sorry. That's my bad.
But I'll be taking pictures this week. I'm only going to put up about 5 or 6 things up this week, just to kind of test the waters. I'm going to be putting up Troop Builder 2-packs. So like my Alley Vipers, my Bats, my Cobra Troopers.
Because you bought 2 of all of those? Oh.
Yeah, I stopped at Crimson Guard. Crimson Guard I only have 1 of. But most, like Cobra Troopers I have 2 of. I have 2 Vipers, 2 Cobra Island Vipers. I have 2 Alley Vipers. I have 2 Bats. Stuff like that. So I'm going to put the Troop Builder 2-packs up. Probably going to get Serpentor listed, because Serpentor is going for crazy money. And Loose, which is mine, goes for like $1.80.
Yeah, and I sold a sealed and shipper for $1. Like I say, my prices are fucking really good. They're very competitive with eBay prices, but yeah, I found 2 Serpentors that I didn't even know I still had. So I sold one for $180, and I've got one up there for $200 right now, sealed. But yeah, even his loose commands a ridiculous amount. So people, if you're looking for it, I don't want to speak for Cliff, but I'm sure, being listeners, I always have an affinity to try to help listeners out and stuff like that. But yeah, if there's stuff that's hard to find that you've been looking for, like, you have a Serpentor, like, do you have all of the exclusives? Like, you have a Dr. Mindbender.
I don't have a Dr. Mindbender. I do have the color changing Zartan. However, I wasn't able to find him in my my last storage visit. I don't know where he is. So he is somewhere. I also couldn't find my black and gold Cobra Commander. I did find Regal.
Yeah, and I haven't seen. I've got actually 2 of the dark blue ones, and they don't go for anything. Does that?
And then I had this. I think I bought him to make a Kamakura custom. So I have this to like this guy, but he's actually dirt cheap on Amazon. I mean, or on eBay. He's only going for like $22, $25.
People don't know what they need.
Yeah. He's a little beat up though, like so. I would probably give this one a because he's got some creases. Because I thought he was going to be a custom. I just bought an extra one.
Yeah, I like this. Brinkalizer says Zartan is a master of disguise. You may never find him.
That's a very good point, Brink. And you know what? It's just luckily he's in a package that clearly denotes who he is. But like Zartan might be probably the priciest loose classified figure right now is the original Zartan.
Interesting.
And so I think I'm going to sell him in a 3-pack with Zarana and Xandar, the 3 siblings.
Nice. AAA says because of the tariffs, it's a great time to shop buying toys this year. Or
stop buying toys.
Stop. Yeah. I mean that's what's kind of crazy right now is so I've pre-ordered more stuff right now from not higher end, but bigger companies like Pulse and Amazon because they're still offering that stuff at retail. Entertainment Earth has bumped up their prices. All of their classifieds are $27.99 right now. Big Bad reversed their course on increasing prices and instead said, we'll keep them at our normal prices, but if they come in and there's a tariff on them, we're going to tell you what the tariff is and you're either going to pay it or we'll cancel your order, kind of thing.
Which is all they can do. Like, that's all
I think that's the best way to do it. Like, and they're saying they're going to let you know before they charge you. So for those people and God forbid, please, hopefully, if there's any listeners of this show, if you're these people that cannot afford to have a charge on your credit card happen and then not fall off in time for other stuff like bills and stuff, you should not be collecting toys. Like that is a huge thing. People that live check to check, I see these people like, oh, they canceled my order, but how am I going to pay bills? Because now I don't get that money back for 3 to 5 business days. I'm like, oh my God, you should not be buying toys if that's how you're living.
But Slick, I don't want to mother you. But you've told me about buying things on clearance, like meat that's about to go. But
that's how I choose to shop, though. Like that. That's not because if I buy a full price, rib roast or something, that I'm not going to be able to pay my bills at the end of the month. Like it's one of those things, and not that we ever want to touch your retirement, but if I ever got into a really sad state, it's super easy for me to have thousands of dollars if I needed it, but let's see. Kawabunga Dude says, I'm just waiting for Classified and Origins to end. Then I can slow way down. So yeah, and that's one of the traps too, right? Like, and Roger's not here to defend himself, but Roger's got to have every one of those numbers, and like, to me, that's just not sustainable. Like that, and I should say that's what I've stopped doing, but that's not actually the case. I haven't stopped. Like right now, retro G.I. Joe, so the classified, but on a card back. Completist with that, so long as they had an original card. So not getting CoverGirl. I think there's another one that never had a card that's coming out. A green shirt. I don't need a green shirt. But Origins cartoon, like I'm still all in on that. That is all in. I can only order them from Entertainment Earth because I want them unpunched and mint guaranteed and all this kind of shit. So I still have the sickness for a few things, but let's see.
But see, that's what's cool about G.I. Joe for me. G.I. Joe to me is a 4-inch line with vehicles. So that's why it's so easy for me to liquidate classified. And what's nice is I know that 4-inch G.I. Joe is likely dead. Unless they want to go to Haya, which I don't.
Well, I think it'll come back. I think people said after what not Built to Rule, that was very short lived, but G.I. Joe versus
Spy
Cobra.
Troops,
That
around
stuff,
that.
like people are like, oh, okay, they're not going to make any more of this crap. And then boom, the 25th line.
Yeah, but Classified is kind of Classified is bigger than anything during 25th in Pursuit of Cobra.
I think it's bigger than 20. I don't know. I would be curious to see the numbers with 25th.
Okay.
And I guess it's depending
maybe I just mean the cultural impact because people fucking love Classified.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Let's see here. Evil King says, if I ever buy anything from you guys, I want you to sign it. Open your toys, motherfucker. And then here, golden age of toy engineering is colliding with the worst price increases ever. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. Is we're getting amazing shit. I mean, I'm looking at my freaking, was this a Jakks Pacific? The Altered Beast line, like this is a $10 toy that has fucking a butterfly joint on it and fucking does it have two waists? Oh, it looks like it has two waists, but just one waist. But yeah, double elbows, double knees, ankles on that for $10. And
I don't know, man. I love the Kenner. I love the Kenner aesthetic. Like the the 5 POA with a clip-on cape. Like, I'm happy. He's a little dusty.
Let's see. Oh, Brink makes a good point here. He says, I wouldn't be surprised if Hasbro doesn't do another HasLab until things normalize. And that's the crazy thing, too, with toys. They're planned so far in advance. They're working on shit for 2027 right now. Like, how do you even fucking do that? Let's see. AAA says, with tariffs, does that mean older toys will become more affordable, such as vintage or toys that are a decade old? Also, can't wait to hear how much is the next HasLab Classified going to cost. So I'm thinking this is going to raise prices. Like as things get too expensive, and this is where I'd be kind of curious. So as there's nothing new to buy in a certain franchise, then the vintage or older toys from that franchise always goes up. I'm doing always goes up, right? So when there wasn't a lot of Star Wars for a lot of times, the older stuff went up, that kind of shit. So I'd be curious if the tariffs have the same effect. If everything's too expensive to buy, do you go back and start looking at G.I. Joe versus Cobra or Spy Troops? If Classified's going to be $35, do you go back and start looking at 25th? And 25th is already stupid expensive.
Well, it's what I did.
That was.
It's what I did when Classified went from 20 to 22 to 25, like in 2 months. I remember I pulled out. I said I'm no longer all in, and then I just started looking at vintage Kenner shit. I started buying Robin Hood figures. I started buying Kenner Shadow stuff because a Kenner Shadow figure was like $14 mint-time card. I was like, fucking. This is amazing. I bought a Superpowers Joker for like $32. And he was complete and his action feature worked. And I'd rather have a $32 Kenner Joker than a $25 Gung Ho.
I blew Mrs. McFavorite's mind because we were talking about tariffs and all of that, and I was like, I already don't collect 3 3/4 Star Wars. And she's like, what? Isn't that the main thing you collected? Like, this was how long ago it was. She was like, you said you were just going to pick and choose the 6-inch, but you were going to stay with the other ones. And I was like, they're $17 right now without tariffs. And she was like, oh my God. I'm like, I haven't bought a full priced vintage collection figure or 3 3/4 figure since that price increase. Period. Like, I'm just not going to pay that. Like, it could be I don't even know what figure could make me pay that right now, you know? So, and now you're going to talk about tariffs on top of that. Let's see. Evil King says if tariffs make people move towards vintage, the secondary market will get even more expensive.
It's what happened during COVID. It's what happened.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, everybody found a side gig that we've been side gigging forever. Let's see. AAA said, good thing Classified Rattler happened last year instead of this year. A GI Joe tank costs more than a Classified Rattler. Yeah, easily, you know, with all the moving parts. The fucking Rattler is just it's not even a lot of plastic, really, you know, because planes, the whole point of planes is for them to be light and everything. Evil King says HasLab is dead. Shipping the Rattler is going to be expensive once. Yeah, that's what I don't know about. Like, say the tariffs are in place when the Rattlers are done. I guarantee you Hasbro has plenty of storage in China just to sit on shit, you know, and just say, sorry, everything we said that was coming in September isn't coming in September anymore because we can't afford to pay the tariffs and not pass that on. And that's the whole thing too, is like Hasbro Pulse is not Hasbro. It's a company licensed to sell their stuff with their name out there. So like
it's a Hasbro toy shop situation.
As far as I know, I don't think that ever changed, but maybe not. But anyways, but Hasbro Pulse is still putting everything up at MSRP. So I don't know if Hasbro will absorb those tariffs when the things I'm pre-ordering today might cost 100% more in 3 months, you know? Let's see. Evil King says if Hasbro has to pay tariffs on the Rattlers, they can't pass that cost on to customers. I mean, you would think that. That's what I'd be curious about. I mean, maybe they could. Yeah, and seeing this what AAA says, Hasbro better not email us with a surprise bill to cover the cost. That's exactly right. Like, what do you do? My opinion, they sit on them, right? They just say, we're not going to ship them to the States until this tariff thing is done, you know? So it takes, your Rattler comes 6 months later than it would have. But yeah, that's the bigger companies. That's what I can't imagine them doing. It's coming back to you and asking you for more money. But I don't think there's anything in the HasLab terms and conditions that says that they can't do that. You know, that'd be something interesting. I thought about doing some research and trying to figure out all the tariff math and all this kind of shit, but oh yeah. Evil King says Hasbro would just do what McFarlane did and say, oops, someone stole the truck with all the Rattlers.
I did that with 2 different figures.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's interesting. So for me, I want to say my collecting's changed a lot, and unfortunately it fucking hasn't. Jomo is still in effect. Almost everything goes on Jomo. Here, why don't we I'll bring up some Jomo and we can get some updates here. People can look at my
while spread. You're pulling up Jomo, Slick, I have to get more water. Okay?
Yep. All right, there we go. Let's see. Go for it. Get your water. I'm good.
Cool. I'll be right.
Let's see, share screen, and we're just going to share a tab. All right. Okay, so here is Jomo. So I have it broken up into years, and sorry, I'll try to increase this a little bit. Okay, that's probably good. so you can see I have acquired and skipped. So the hope with Jomo was it was going to have me skip a lot of things. And that's just not the case, unfortunately. I've skipped a few things here. You can see in the skipped column, Valkyries. I focused my gargoyles collecting a little bit. Um, Yellow here is ones to like get very soon because these have been out since 2023. They're not sold out yet, but who knows when they're going to sell out. But eliminating a few things here. But you can see over here is I'm tracking my spending. So these things that I have picked up, some of them have been pretty fucking amazing deals. You got Deluxe Bombshell I got because Walmart was clearancing them when they just came out and shit like that. So I mean, there's some really good savings I've had on here. Some things haven't been saved. So this was the first year of Jomo. Still missing a few things that are still available, some gargoyles and shit like that. A lot of the Super 7 stuff I kind of curbed there. I was very excited about all the ultimates and just kind of got burned out on that line. But if we go all the way down to the bottom here, you can see, I mean, I've got a 28% savings across the board of 2013 stuff in here. 2024 or 2013, sorry, 2023. We go into 2024. More stuff that I'm like, okay, we need to keep an eye on this stuff. Skipped a few of the page puncher stuff, but you can see there's a lot less skipped here. I mean, few things, Bumblebee, Shockwave, Bandai, Godzilla, that kind of shit. Then you run into things like this, the 85th Wolverine that I really wanted. That was sold out everywhere. So then I had to go on to fucking eBay and buy it. So then you can see that I paid $31.50 on eBay. That's not including shipping. So even more if you wanted to tack the shipping on there. So that was
what's the 85th Wolverine?
That's do I have him here? Oh yeah. This guy right here.
Oh, okay, that's badass Wolverine. Fair enough.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, it was one of those like, okay, it's sold out. I have a buy now column that says to start looking for it. Same thing with this Steeljaw. Like the core Steeljaw started selling out everywhere, and I'm a cassette collector, so that was a thing to get right away. Now you can see where we're at. We're just these are all listed in order of pre-order. Okay, so Storm Shadow Alpine and the IG Bad and Iron Grenadier are hitting right now, so you can see where this is kind of lining up. But Leader Soundwave, I'm probably gonna skip that. Fire and Ice Dark Wolf animated, that's a pricey one, I'll probably skip. TVC Blurg, I've been watching that on Amazon forever, but then you get to exclusives like the video game Sentinels. Oh, this should have had what I paid for it. So that one I got afraid of it selling out, so I pre-ordered it. Now, nice thing there, I sold one of my Sentinels. I didn't need a 2-pack. I just wanted one. So I sold one for $30. But so you can kind of see here, there's not a lot of skipping going on here. It's just more kind of waiting for stuff. Now I have gotten more picky on the things that get added to Jomo. Lotus is here. Buenos tardes, Lotus.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
You want to chime in on Jomo? Or is Is your brain just wheeling from the way that I'm trying to rationalize my cutting back while not
No, he had to
actually
log on because I'm selling everything. He's like, oh my god, Cliff's finally seen the light.
No, I just came on just to hang out, doing a special show. I figured, what the heck, join.
Nice, nice. So we get into stuff here, and this is I
By
started.
the way, dudes,
go ahead.
Game changer. Lifesavers Orange. They're not as good as Orange Tic Tacs, but they're legit. Just saying.
So a few things here. Shadows of the Empire. I pre-ordered that 2-pack because I really wanted it. And then it's not selling out. It's almost about to be in stock. So I canceled my pre-order on that.
A third Bausch, right? Because you already have 2 Bausches.
Yeah, exactly. A third one. That's what's ridiculous. So then we get into this year and you can see like nothing's being picked up. But, here we get Super Friends. This is the 66 style McFarlane stuff, that I definitely want, but we'll see. Hammond Collection Stegosaurus, the Dash Rendar, that thing's fucking sold out everywhere already, and it's a mass release. So that was kind of interesting. But so Jomo's been going pretty well. You can see my 2024, we're at about 22% savings of everything that I've actually bought. But yeah, it's one of those things where I'm just like, it's changed my collecting a little, but not as much as I wanted. And mainly the big thing is I don't pre-order that much, but I can't say I'm like Cliff and say, Cliff for a long time only had 2 pre-orders and then maybe 3 pre-orders and now he has none. Here, let me present another. We'll just run through real quick because I don't track my Jomo has some pre-order tracking, but this isn't all of it. So these are things that I pre-ordered and I acquired, and none of them were cheaper than retail on there, unfortunately. And then these are the things I have on pre-order right now. I have their shipping dates so I can kind of keep track of, do the Hearts of Steel Transformers 2-pack sell out? Then I might cancel it before it gets into stock. But some things that I'm glad I fucking pre-ordered. The Snake, that sold out within a day. The Claw, that sold out within a day. I've got a couple pricey things in here. I have the 97 Sentinel because I never got the HasLab one, and 97's the version I'd rather have anyways. Missing Link RC, that was done through Big Bad Toy Store, so I cancel it at any time. I'm really kind of kicking around being a completist with the Missing Link stuff. I was all in at first, and now I'm just kind of like, yeah. But the main thing is like the Monkey Wrench, he sold out super quick. The V4 Snake Eyes, Battle Armor, Cobra Commander. These I normally would have never pre-ordered them, but Pulse had them for MSRP, and everybody else is either more expensive, like these are $27.99, I think, on Entertainment Earth, or BBTS is just saying we're going to randomly charge you whatever the tariff is when your toys come in. So those I jumped on and ordered through Hasbro Pulse because, again, the hope is that Hasbro Pulse will stand behind their price, but we don't know that's the case either, So it has helped me kind of shine a light on stuff. When stuff does sell out, it's really made me think, how bad do I want this? Now, do I want to pay aftermarket prices for it? And there's things I have, like the Origin Snakeman 4-pack. I paid double the fucking price on that because I really wanted it. But not much else. Not much else is sold out, and I've paid a lot more, you know. Oh,
I think we lost Cliff.
yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good. So yeah,
I popped something in the chat, Slick.
You popped something in the chat.
Yeah, the StreamYard chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is your oh wow. Holy shit. Yeah, that is much older than I imagined. So he put in there his jukebox that he was talking about. Let me see. Share screen. Seaberg model. So we can take a look at that.
That is my jukebox.
Yeah. Holy shit. That is super old school.
Are you refurbing it, or is it functional, or?
It's very tinny. Like you could play it could play a record at 45, but it's very tinny. And I frankly just don't know what's wrong with it. It was my dad's. I grew up with it. When he died, I got that was what I got. So eventually it sits in a storage unit now, a climate controlled storage unit. I'm gonna, whenever I get a house, it's going to go to my house with me. I'm gonna have to fill it with 45s because it's empty, but yeah, I mean it's I grew up with that fucking thing. It was full of 80s hits as a kid. It was the best. In fact, go ahead.
So you just can't get like a high volume output. It just sounds like you can hear the 45 playing, but it's almost like it's not amplified, right?
Yeah, it's like it's amplified a little bit, but it's really tinny. It's hard to describe. Like
yeah.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Brink says not a lot of skipping, but a lot of saving, which is why I thought was your main reason for doing Jomo. No, my hope in Jomo was that once things like sold out, I wouldn't want them anymore. What's the hope was like that I would seriously like start cutting down on my purchasing. So you're right. It's helped with savings a lot, you know, like when the Hasbro Pulse sales come along, like I'm scooping shit up at 35% instead of the pre-order price I would have paid a couple years before. But I was really hoping that it would kind of curb my purchasing. Let's see. Bigger thing. So let's look at this too. Let me bring up my toy budgeting, which you want to talk about something that makes you sad when we talk about it. Looking at this thing makes me sad every single time. And it shouldn't. It should make me happy, but all right. So let's share this here. So January's good. January's not too bad. Spent $164, you know, saved 59 on all of that. Looks good. Then we get into February. And all of a sudden, this list gets a fuck ton longer here. Still saving money, still saving about 20% on everything I buy, but I'm still spent $700. March, I think, is probably even worse. Yeah, 860 here. And you can see in the discount column, you know, there's some good stuff here, like the Sketch series I got on discount, the Legacy G1 Prime. And then what happens here? Wow, my Super 7 Yellowtron cycle, Origins Modulok, I got scared that was going to sell out, so I got a couple of those. Then you get into Four Horsemen stuff, which was very expensive for that month. So there's some of that, but we're not even through April yet, and we're at 771 for April already. Again, some good savings, $229 saved, but you know, we just have some fucking like Dr. Wu I'm a completist with. Pengu Toys Omega Supreme, so a Legends Omega Supreme. Great price on that, but you know, still not buying it, you know. This was the big hit here was the Fans Toys fucking Ultra Magnus, not on sale, and not even show Z price, 280 on that. So that cranked that up quite a bit. But what's crazy in here is what this doesn't reflect is the fucking dragon I bought. And because I consider the dragon a pre-order, it doesn't go on this month, but Four Horsemen orders are prepaid pre-orders, so it should. So if you stuck the dragon on here, now you're looking at I spent $1,800 this month. You know, and like I say, there's some amazing savings here. Like I got that Batman 3-pack, Cliff, from what is that, Spin Masters?
Oh, Spin Master with the Bale, Keaton, and Affleck? Is it?
Yeah. So they had it $750 off. So it cost me $12.50. I'm like, I can't pass that up. You know, AAA for you, the Snapships Combat Transport. So this was a Snapships that was originally $40. It was $8. I don't need that. That's not part of my collection. I have a few Snapships. They're fun to put together. I don't get creative with them like AAA does, you know, but this will just be like a fun thing to do for an hour, hour and a half. But then again, I'm not going to do anything with it. So it's going to go into a tote and go into storage, you know? So I don't know. Jomo's helped save a lot of money by just not jumping on things as soon as they're released. But it really hasn't helped me cut down all that much. So
you're still primarily buying to later sell, right? So I mean that's your goal is to make a profit.
No, not at all. That was never my goal. Now, one of my goals for the stuff that I have to sell was to offset my original cost. So anytime I buy a HasLab, I buy 2 HasLabs.
Right.
And that's ridiculous, but that's what I do. So I sold my second Dragonfly for $400. So that, if you look at it this way, that made my first Dragonfly like $130 or whatever it was, you know. So that was a really bad habit that I have, and I've curtailed that quite a bit. The let's buy 2 of everything and sell something to offset the cost. And I think the biggest thing is now I see the effort that's involved in continually listing things and stuff like that. And so like a big thing I used to do was buy clearance stuff, thinking, oh God, that'll go for a mint later on. No, once things hit clearance, that means they're always going to be about that fucking clearance price on the secondary market. Because if they clearanced where you are, they clearanced where most people are. And most people buy those clearance ones to sell them later, you know. So then you have a market saturated with shit that people could get at dirt low prices if they wanted it for their collection, but a ton of people bought at dirt low prices to try to sell for more on the secondary market, and it doesn't move. So that the selling has helped me identify that kind of like thing that gets stuck in your head about flipping shit, you know.
But then let's talk about the dragon then. You don't think that the dragon you bought that because you wanted to flip it down the road? That's how I see it. I mean, I watch you guys. I mean, I watch you guys, listen to you guys every week. So, you know, I mean, I just don't understand, because you were never into statues. I know it's a figure. Yes, it's a figure,
Yeah.
but you're never into statues, and you're paying statue prices now. And I was really shocked that you'd be interested in that, you know, only because it just seemed like you were getting into the FOMO of the whole thing, and, you know, getting caught up into, you know, what everyone else is doing, and not sticking to your guns. So I was really shocked you pre-ordered that thing.
Well, I wasn't going to mention
learned that
this
today, Modus. I just learned that with you. Like,
oh, dude, I told you, I was like, when we get off this show, I'm going to pre-order it. Okay. So we will talk about something I wasn't going to talk about because one, I'm really embarrassed about it. And two, I'm really embarrassed more about the decision I made after the fact about it. So we got off the show, and anybody that's watched the show knows that I'm pretty much like 3 sheets to the wind by the time the end of the show is done. So I was like, all right, go get my dragon. So I went through it. I was like, oh, everything looks good. And I'm like, oh, why is there free shipping on there? That doesn't seem right. I don't know. I don't care. Fucking ordered it. Totally forgot about the thing we talked about on the show, that the default shipping was local pickup for free.
Wow.
So I was like, motherfucker. Oh, I can't believe I did that. I was like, it's cool. I know George. Like, I'll just reach out. Like, there's no way they're gonna fucking not cancel that order, that kind of shit. So I placed another order with the correct shipping, which was dumb of me. I shouldn't have done that. So I placed another order with the correct shipping. Email them like, I'm so sorry. I even knew this was an issue. Like, talk to George. He'll vouch for me. And now I realize, like, Four Horsemen just getting into a big company. They have lots of like lower people and stuff like that. And so they were like, yeah, we'll cancel the order and you'll get charged a 5% fee for doing that.
Wow.
And this is where my stupidity came in, because I was like, still buzzed out, like, no, like, they're like, or we can just send you an invoice and you can pay for the shipping on that one. So that's where I was like, fuck, I shouldn't have ordered the second one, because all I would have had to do was pay the invoice for shipping.
Yeah.
So no, I fucking bought a second one.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to lose $50. I didn't want to lose 5%. So I bought a fucking second one. And immediately after I did it, I was just like, that was the stupidest thing you ever did. You should have fucking taken your medicine, paid the $50 extra. But no, I was so concerned about losing $50 on a fucking $1,000 purchase that I was like, no, I'll just buy another one. So yes, I did buy two, not just 2 dragons, 2 all-in fucking things for it. So if anybody's looking for one cost plus shipping in a year and a half, which this is kind of how I'm rationalizing with it, is in a year and a half, toys are going to be even more expensive. We do have a very, very healthy Mythic Legions collectors group locally here. So I don't think I'll have any problem getting rid of it for cost. And who knows? It's now up for pre-order on BBTS. And they're selling the whole package for like $13.50 or something. So, you know, maybe I'll make a couple $100, but $1,000 of my money in the market over a year and a half might make $200. You never know, you know? So, oh my God. Stupidest thing ever. And again, I'm glad you brought it up, Lotus, because I was too embarrassed, actually. I wasn't going to admit that I bought 2, but I'm glad it's out there in the open. And people, please take this as an example. Just, you screw up, pay 5% and not buy another $1,000 toy that you were on the fence about buying in the first place. So yeah, that was pretty awful. So but yeah, like I say, I don't think I'll ever buy a second HasLab again, though. Yeah, it's one of those things.
All right, we're gonna clip that.
Oh my God. Let's see. Mark's got to bounce. Sorry, guys, got to bounce. Get to appointment. All right. Thank you for joining us. It's been a long time,
That's
Mark.
cool.
We appreciate
Mark's
it.
on here. I didn't even know he's on. That's cool. Nice to see him, Mark.
Oh yeah. Brink says, so dragon giveaway coming, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, Brinkalizer says sometimes 5 sheets. Yeah. Let's see. Haha, when I come over and see yours on display and get tempted, I might buy the second one.
That's adorable
And that
that you think he's going to display it. Like,
oh, I fucking will, dude. Well, I still haven't gotten my fucking Unicron somewhere more displayed than just welcoming people into my toy room, but still, fuck it.
that thing's like the dragon's like this big. It's like the size of like a Rottweiler.
I know. It's insane. And I'm super excited that I got one. I just feel real stupid about getting the second one. Like, why didn't I think that they would just offer me a shipping option and that kind of shit? You know, I even started like running through my head, like, okay, who do I know that's near New Jersey that could pick it up and ship it for me and all this kind of
Dude,
shit.
did you see how big? Like, it's 3 boxes.
No,
and they're
I know.
ginormous.
Yeah, no, I know. I saw that whole thing about because George was in those. I think George posted the thing I saw that said, we wanted to explain to you why shipping is so expensive. So we mocked up some boxes in our warehouse of how big this is going to be. Oh my God. So, well, here, this is, and I know, Cliff made it very clear he wasn't about to do a 3-hour discussion episode. We're
good on time. I got some sour gummies. I'm having a good. We don't have to wrap up immediately, but yeah, no 3 hours.
Okay, yeah, and it looks like we lost a lot of watchers. We got fucking Absolute Collecting in the house. What's up? What's up? Let's see. Oh yeah, Absolute Collecting. Excited to see you, Lotus. This is Lucas James. Lucas James. We've done this before, but let's revisit this now with pending tariffs that could make things $3 more expensive, like Entertainment Earth thinks. It could make it, I think, BBTS, before they reverse course about raising their prices, I think BBTS had classifieds at like $31.
$31.99, I think. Yeah,
was what they posted them at one point before they reversed course. So we've done this before, but, and Cliff, I know you're kind of getting out of collecting, but humor me on this. Kind of think that you're not getting out of collecting, that you're still excited as you used to be. I mean, I think you said 6-inch was $24.99, right? Like,
yeah. I mean,
go beyond that.
That was my limit for 6-inch. So, like, we were already kind of at the spot where I was thinking that it wasn't worth the juice wasn't worth the squeeze anymore. So this tariff really doesn't matter what the tariff was; it was going to push me over the limit.
Yeah, because even like, unless you get from Pulse, nowhere else has $24.99 on 6-inch anymore. Entertainment Earth more. Big Bad Toy Store had already increased theirs $1 over MSRP. I'm sorry. Like real quick here, before I had my meltdown and my moment of clarity, as addicts call it, I was going to pre-order the Daredevil Born Again Daredevil, and I went on Amazon. It was $26.99. Oh no, $25.99. It was $25.99 on Amazon. It was $25.99, and I was like, "Oh, no way!" And I didn't pre-order it because it was $1 more. So that's just showing you that, like, yeah, I mean, $24.99 was my ceiling. Yeah, and I think I was saying like it would cause my selections to be even more cherry picked, but for stuff I really wanted, I would be willing to go up to 30 for a 6-inch figure. Like like a 6-inch sci-fi. Sci-fi was one of my favorite figures back in the day. I would do 30 for a 6-inch sci-fi if that's what it's going to run. Let's see, we're done with Dreadnoks. God, even maybe
we still need Zanzibar.
Yeah, no, yeah, we're almost done with it, I should say. Python Patrol and Tiger Force are a huge focus, so maybe figures from that. Maybe figures that were based on vintage, like, well, and here we go, like a Psych Out. Psych Out was one of my favorite figures as a kid too. So a $30 Psych Out, no problem. Definitely a fucking Tiger Force Psych Out, $30 would be no problem. But yeah, $30 is where I'm going to draw the line on that. Star Wars, I don't know. I guess besides deep cuts, like more Shadows of the Empire or maybe Knights of the Old Republic might get me to a $30 price point. But beyond that, I can't imagine what else would get, like, definitely no revamped version of any old figure would get me to that.
You know what,
like,
Star Wars is really really striking my fancy is those cheap, like the mech suits, like those mech suits. Did you see that? Did you see the X-Wing?
yeah, the X-Wing looks like almost like a vintage one. It's like fucking beautiful.
I like the only Star Wars figures I'll buy from here on out are retro styled. Okay, I can't say vintage because vintage is its own thing. Retro styled.
Retro, yeah.
Those are the only figures I want. But those cheap toys for kids, that fucking X-Wing is beautiful. The mech suits are fun. I like 5 POA Star Wars because that's all the Star Wars I ever had when I played with it.
Yeah, see, and that the N1, the Mandalorian N1, I have seen that as low as $8 on Target, like with all the deals and everything. And I still couldn't pull it because I'm just like, I don't fucking have anywhere to put it as much as I would, because it is like the perfect toyetic N1. Like are
you talking about the cheap line one?
Yeah.
Or the vintage
same
collection?
One. No.
Okay, the cheap one.
Yeah. Like I've seen it as low as $8.50, after all the deals and shit, and still couldn't pull the trigger. But that Stormtrooper mech suit, I might buy that at full price the second I see it. I haven't seen it yet. I've been looking since you said
they're at Target. Yeah, they're at Target.
Yeah. Ours hasn't gotten them yet. But so, I mean, there's things like, I mean, the Transformers crossovers, like I'm never going to give those up. Like I haven't bought the cup, the Triple T cup yet. It's on the Jomo, obviously. Actually, I don't remember seeing that on Jomo. I better put it on there just to keep track of it. But I kind of use this as a gauge for Jomo. Like there's still one at my GameStop right now. Like I was there last week and they still had one. So I'm not too worried about it. But if it starts going into sellout territory, I might jump on it at full price. But yeah, it's kind of fucking crazy. Like as I sell more, Lotus, you might have missed this, but I'm selling about $3,000 worth of stuff a month now.
Yeah,
averaging.
Yeah, I think you were talking about that on one of your episodes.
Yeah, so it's beautiful. I use these 27-gallon black and yellow tubs for almost everything in my life now. Our garage, my toys, all that kind of stuff, and it is amazing to see me just clear those out. Like I have a stack of those tubs now because that's how much I've sold out. And again, to sell $3,000 worth of toys is only like 3 tubs worth of toys because the shit is just worth so much. And another thing is another reason why I have quite a high dollar sale amount is I've found a lot of old stuff. Like I found Monster High dolls I bought when we used to go to San Diego Comic-Con that I bought for $35 back then, and they go for $500 now, you know? So like a lot of these big dollar sales are going to go down very quickly as I start running out of that stuff. You know, I only have so much more JoeCon stuff to sell. I only have so much more BotCon stuff to sell. So soon I'm just going to be getting to the stuff that isn't worth anything to anybody.
How are the people on eBay? Are they respectable and not returning things or not asking
Oh
for
yeah,
discounts, or
I
is
have
it
had I have no customer service problems at all.
great?
I literally had to do 2 refunds this week. These were my first 2 refunds. One was my own stupid fault. Usually, if something's not sealed, I open it up and I take pictures of the contents. Um, and this is ridiculous. Do you remember, Lotus, the Make Toys Utopia trench covers that came with the little tiny minifigures like this big? Do you remember that?
I definitely remember Utopia. I'm not too sure if I mean
Remember this little
I never
add-on
had that
set?
one. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah. So basically, what it was it was this little add-on set where it was basically like screw covers for Utopia, like 100 of them.
okay.
And then how they sold that was they also gave you little like 3/4 of an inch minifigures to go with quote the size of Utopia. So I sold that. I didn't realize that I had taken the minifigures out. I thought it was an extra
Oh,
one. So, but that guy was super nice. He was like, it doesn't look like the minifigures are in here. Do you perhaps still have them? Like, I don't want to bother you. And was super nice about it. I'm like, no, I fucked up. I'm so sorry. Like, instant refund. And then unfortunately, I sold the Mysteries of Grayskull, the one that had the fucking articulated robot from
Oh,
it was a PowerCon exclusive.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that one, the guy chose FedEx Economy, which FedEx Economy is where FedEx ships it, but USPS does the last mile delivery. And somewhere between FedEx and USPS, it got lost. USPS says they never got it from FedEx. FedEx is like, it'll show up eventually. I'm like, it's been fucking 3 weeks since your tracking ended, and it never made it to USPS. But that was just a claim I had to put in. But I refunded that guy, and that guy too was just like, I'm so sorry to bother you. I tried to put in a claim, but Cliff, if you didn't know this, you can't ever put in a claim as a buyer. Only the shipper can
The
put in
seller
a
does.
claim. Yeah, exactly. So, but beyond that, absolutely zero problems with eBay. And my fucking now, granted, I pay for shipping material to pack my stuff meticulously. Every single product I have has at least 2 to 3 inches around the entire product. And that 2 to 3 inches is usually filled in with bubble wrap and good void fill and all that kind of shit.
yeah, it sounds like you'd be perfect working in China, you know.
Dude, they do some masterful packaging, dude. There
Oh
with
yeah,
styrofoam and that yellow
yellow tape.
they use. Oh god.
Yellow coffin tape. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean I think that's why I get a lot of purchases, because if you look at my feedback, people are like meticulously packaged, great care in packaging. And I even say that in my listings. Like, I'm like, I don't get why people on eBay package shit so poorly. This thing right here, fucking 40-year-old Stegosaurus transforming toy. You notice it doesn't have a limb. This is right here. The fucking chick wrapped a piece of newspaper around it and put it in an envelope, a non-padded envelope, and shipped that.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Look at this, dude.
And
Look at, I bought these. These are for bigger figures and two, and this
Yeah.
is for like regular figures. Like I bought fucking boxes.
exactly, dude. And
Listen,
she was
listen.
to her credit, she was super nice. I said I wasn't that snotty with her, but I did point out you shipped a $40 plastic toy in an envelope with no padding. And she refunded my money instantly. And there might be a way I can fix it, or I might just fucking super glue the arm there permanently. But so I mean, she was nice, but yeah, people that sell on eBay just don't know what the fuck to do with collectibles like this, you know?
Yeah, dude, I bought a box of bubble wrap.
Oh,
I
go
mean,
ahead,
you
Lotus.
know,
You were waiting.
She's a woman, all right, so she doesn't know how to drive. It's very, you know, so you can't really hold her to the whole packing thing, you know. It is what it is.
Cliff signed off. He's like, I'm not a part of this guy.
Oh, come on.
no, and you're right. Her username was like deals for you or something, you know. So she's a flipper, you know. She probably shops thrift stores and just buys anything that looks like it might be worth something.
Did she know that it was a vintage toy, or
Mhm.
did she? Oh, she did understand.
Yeah, she knew enough to like look at the fucking copyright stamp mark and do her fucking research. Like,
better. It's just a wrap
Yeah.
it with something else. I mean, it's this whole newspaper. Like, why do people even ship with newspaper? Like, how do they feel that newspaper is a cushion? Like,
Yeah. Well, if you bunch it up enough, like it can be good void fill.
I would.
It's
I was gonna
void
say I use
fill.
it as void filler. I would totally like. One of my favorite things about ordering shit on eBay is sometimes I get like their circulars, so I
Yeah.
can see what they're.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can see what their stores or something. Like I read them. If I get ads as void fill, I will read the shit out of them. I don't see it much anymore, but back in the day, I used to always get circulars as void fill, and it was the best. It was the best, Jerry.
I do. I like that part of it too. I always like spread it out and read whatever's there. But
I'm like, ooh, what's Pennsylvania like? What's Pennsylvania's Kmart selling?
Let's see. Some comments here. Let's see. AAA says
before you do the comments, I love.
Go for
it. You saw all of Cliff's little like pauses, right?
His freezes, like his internet connection.
Yeah, like right now, is Cliff paused, or is he?
For me, he's frozen right this second.
Yeah, so it's funny because Cliff, your internet was pausing, and your little screenshots are just hilarious. Like your different, different facial expressions are just funny. So,
like it's happening right now, Cliff. Is even there? Maybe you just put up a screenshot of himself.
No,
I'm here.
Yeah, you're still frozen though. Like even when you're talking, your video will freeze.
What the fuck? I'm using my. It's got to be my internet then, because I'm using my iPad, and
yeah,
I'm not getting any.
I would say it's your internet. Like I say, doing your work stuff and data and all that is probably fine, but your internet has never been able to handle you video streaming, unfortunately. But it's manageable. It's manageable audio wise, so I don't worry about it too much.
But all of your pauses are good. They're good, like pauses. Like right now, it's like you're thinking, like you're in heavy thought. You know.
Yeah. You look like the statue of David without your hand up to your chin. Or not statue of David. What is that?
I think it's the thinker. The thinker.
Yeah, the thinker. Yeah.
Rodin.
Rodin's the thinker.
But yeah, so Slick, post show, if you could please email me that eBay spreadsheet.
Oh yes,
So,
yeah. Hold on,
because
because
my sale comes tomorrow.
okay, yeah, because we got to talk about what you sent a screenshot of. I was like, no, that was the exact opposite of what we talked about getting. But anyways, let's do
What?
some comments. Yeah, like I say, we'll talk about it offline. Let's do some comments. Let's see if anybody else wants to tell us how your collecting's changed or changing or going to stay the same. Fuck the tariffs, fuck China, whatever. Please leave a comment because we're going to kind of wrap up here. But let's see. AAA says Thunder Machine equals 125 with figure. Thunder Machine, yeah, I'd say the Thunder Machine's about in line with the Vamp, right? And the Vamp was 99 with figure.
Yeah, the Thunder Machine might be bigger, but it's also like bare bones. It's also like a skeleton of a car. Like,
yeah. So it shouldn't be too much plastic. Yeah, I mean, I would pay 125 for that. With the figure. Who would the figure be? Oh, Thrasher, of course.
It has to be Thrasher.
Yeah,
it can't be anybody else.
Yeah.
Because why would you like, maybe they do something stupid and put Zartan and Zorana with it, and then like, why would they do something crazy like that? Like, actually, I hope the Thunder Machine does come out now, because I'm in a place now where there's no chance I would buy it, but I would like to see it. Like,
oh, thing. Let's see. Brink says, I think Sci-Fi, Mainframe, Thunder Machine, and Havoc will be my last classified purchases. Yeah, the Havoc. Oh my god. Mwah. Thunder Machine is a must. I'm going completist on Dreadnoks. And then yeah, I talked about how Sci-Fi was one of my favorite figures. Mainframe is my favorite figure. Like overall, you talk about overall, he was the computer scientist. I liked his character in the cartoon. I had him as a kid, like he's my favorite overall. So he would be.
I had both as a kid. I had Mainframe and Special Mission Brazil Mainframe.
Oh wow. Yeah, I didn't even know Special Mission Brazil even existed until I started collecting. So
oh, I traded him. I traded some figure for him, so I only had Mainframe.
Because what was Mission to Brazil? Was that a Sears like exclusive?
I don't know what it was. It came with the cassette. I don't know. You're sounding very computery to me right now. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
okay?
You're completely frozen. Your video.
I'm gonna come back in. Okay.
All right. Let's see. Latin Legion Action Figure Podcast is on. Gotta love that frozen face. He also says happy 420 and Easter. Yes, I'm very excited for 420 to not be on Easter next year. I usually celebrate 420 in a very personal way, if you get my drift. So having it mixed in with a family holiday isn't the best.
I don't even understand what 420 means. Like, what is it actually refer to?
I actually, and as much as I mean, I used to write like papers in U.S. history about U.S. drug culture, because that's like, I literally thought I might work for Normal at some point in my life, because I was this huge like legalization addict and stuff like that. And I actually do not remember what 420 actually means and stands for, but it's just it is the big stoner thing of like, literally to this day, if I am up at 420 in the morning, I'll fucking light up a joint or hit the pen or something.
So is that the general definition of it? Is
it's the international
time? Okay.
Yeah, like smoking time is how stoners look at it. There is some significance to it in marijuana history. Well, here, this is what I always tell my daughter. This is a question for Google. Significance of 420. Here we go. Let's see. This is the AI overview from Google. It is significant in cannabis culture due to the association with the consumption and celebration of cannabis. It has become an international counterculture holiday with events typically advocating for cannabis legalization and liberalization. The significance stems from the date's notation as 420, which is often used as a slang term related to the drug. See, that doesn't even
So
say.
they're saying a date.
Yeah, they're just saying, oh, it's popular for. Okay, here we go. USA Today. Why is 420 the unofficial weed holiday? But why is this random? Here's to know. April 20th. The story. Okay, yeah. So it says it's unclear. Here's a couple of. Here, let me let Cliff in. Oh, he popped back out. Some believe the holiday is representative of 420, a radio code that has been used for police to indicate marijuana. That's the one I've heard. Others tie the holiday to Bob Dylan's song Rainy Day Women, number 12 and 35, with its refrain, everybody must get stoned, and the product of multiplying 12 by 35 is 420. That one I had never heard. Most likely story, though, is the one that centers around a group of California high school friends in the 70s. According to PBS, a brother, sorry. Yeah, you're still getting connection issues, Betty. A brother of one of these friends allegedly grew marijuana in the woods near the school and was paranoid about being caught. He drew up a map of where to find the pot and gave it to a friend, to the friend group to harvest. One day during the 1971 fall semester at precisely 420, the friends smoked a joint and headed out into the woods looking for the stash. Though they were never able to find it, their code 420 caught on as the friend group hung around the Grateful Dead a fair amount, according to PBS. There you go. There's the three hypotheses. It being the code for police is always the one I think I've remembered, like 187, blah blah blah. Oh, we got
187. Wow.
Let's see. Yeah, Brinkalizer says I have major concerns about the stuff I backed on Kickstarter last year. I would agree. Brink says I have 100% complete Diaclone reboot collection. It's very expensive. Most of it is still mint and sealed box. With the tariffs, I might have to stop picking everything up. Yeah, I agree.
What was the knockoff? What was the knockoff of that you were picking up? Mech Toys? What was that?
Mech Toys would include the little tiny mech suits and the figures with them. Yeah. They've stopped doing that, unfortunately.
I mean, nothing compared to the official Takara Diaclone.
Yeah, no, not at all. And they just did the Optimus one, which I really wanted, which I assume Brink has, but I held strong. Latin Legions planned on cutting back on collecting this year anyways because of space. I'm a toy hoarder, so going to cherry pick what calls me and I can manage. Looking at budgeting 1 fig a month. Oh my God. But I may be just shite and keep my hoarding ways. Yeah, I mean, looking at my toy budgeting, already this month I'm 21 toys in. So, yeesh.
I'm so far. I'm just so far away from toys. I mean, I'm not even I still go up and down the aisles, but because I'm not tracking anything, I don't even know what's new and what's old anymore.
What's not? Yeah.
It's very hard once you get away from it. You really just don't have an idea,
Well, and that's what we were talking about. We were talking about even when you stopped collecting, that you would still post stuff in the secret chat,
Yeah,
and that stuff would be like, oh yeah, we saw that a month ago. We talked
yeah,
about that on the last show. You
yeah.
know?
Like I just saw, like for instance, something I think is new. It's Jurassic Park 1993. Is that a new line? Like, because that's
No,
the first time I saw
not
it.
a new line. They
Okay,
keep
well maybe
putting
it's a
out
new
more stuff
series.
for
Yeah.
it. Yeah. But yeah, I haven't seen anything new from that in like 6 months though.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So um but I did want to, before we let everybody go, I think Cliff may have just given up. We were at his time limit anyways. But before we let everybody go, I do want to talk about the toy show I sold at the last time. So this is my favorite toy show. I sell at it every year, at least I have for like the last 10 years. Um, since Mrs. McFavorite stopped going with me, it's just me. So it's a little bit harder. I always make booth friends. Whoever's next to me, we always have a good chat, and I'll lean on them like, hey, I want to go out. I still smoke during toy shows. Like it's my one time to like enjoy that aspect of it. So they'll watch my booth or I'll walk around, that kind of thing. But so last year at this time, I sold almost $2,400 worth of stuff. Now, again, that was like I sold the Hiss, at that time. So that was 450 right there in one shot. Um, so this time, because I've been selling so much on eBay, this time, hey, Cliff. Oh.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can also hear me. Oh, now I can't. Okay.
Yeah, I paused it.
Welcome back, sir.
The only way I knew what was going on was to play it on YouTube. Ah, shit. So if I get another hiccup, I'll just log off.
Oh no, we're good. We're gonna wrap up with my toy show stuff and then get gone. So this year, because I've been selling on eBay so much, I really didn't have like anything high end to sell. Like it was, a lot of stuff was still in stock at normal stores that I took just to get cost out of it, because it's past my return date, but it's still in stores. So on eBay, it goes for about retail. So why not sell at the toy show? And then I took a lot of stuff to fucking blow out. Like I've had a whole collection of the Netflix Marvel Legends wave with Loki and Falcon and
Disney Plus.
Yeah, Disney Plus. Oh yeah, not Netflix.
Because the Netflix ones are fucking really expensive.
Oh, maybe that's why I'm not getting hits on eBay, because I have it up there as the Netflix wave.
That's Disney Plus. Netflix is Punisher, Jessica Jones, Daredevil.
Maybe that's why it's not selling. But anyways, so I had that for dirt cheap, fucking $10 a figure, complete set for $70. You get the build the figure backpack and all that, and people looked at it. And what people really wanted me to do was split the Vision and the Red Scarlet and all this kind of stuff. So I'll be splitting that. But stuff that I had fucking credit collection figures up there for like $5 a piece. No one bought them, So what I wanted to talk about is, no matter what, even if things clearance and stuff like that, there's going to be times where your shit's just worthless. No, people aren't even going to pay $5 for something that you paid $25. I think the credit collection is one of the coolest things Hasbro has done in the longest time. But
one right there.
I was going to say, anybody that thinks the same bought it all when it came out. So they're like, there's people that don't happen upon it and say, oh, this is a cool concept, and buy all your 5 figures for the price of one. and so that's what this toy show taught me, is like you can blow stuff out and there's still like the fucking Roton with Battle Cat and He-Man and Merman, the Mega Constructs. Fucking, I had that for $5. And to me, that's one of the coolest sets they've ever done. A fucking Battle Armor He-Man, a Battle Cat, a Roton, you know, and no one. The big Mega Constructs Battle Cat, like the full-size Battle Cat. I mean, full size, it's about this big. Fucking $50 set, had it for $10. No one even looked at it. Or I shouldn't say no one. One person did. So that's the whole thing, is like, one, if you're in this for flipping, please stop. I mean, if you do it right, I guess it could be a side hustle. Like, you know, I tried to get the Supreme Optimus Prime. We talked about that. I missed it by like 10 seconds. Right when I hit checkout, or when I hit complete my order, it says this is out of stock. We've taken it out of your cart. That Supreme Optimus Prime was really reasonable. It was only $100, you know, considering it was Supreme. It's just basically the $70 40th anniversary Prime that Walmart had, but in Supreme Deco. So I was kind of pissed that I didn't get that. But now the aftermarket on it is like $300. So, I mean, there's things like that you can still get out there and flip, but are you going to beat the bots nowadays? Like, are you going to get stuck with something? Like, I have a Starduster, the fucking San Diego Comic-Con. Like, classified is so hot. Like, people ask me, do you have classified figures? Do you have classified? I'm like, no, sorry. You know, the ones I have are up on my eBay store. I didn't bring any with me. But still, no one wanted that Starduster, you know? So just because something's an exclusive doesn't mean it's going to sell well. I'm just like, oh my God. And if you know the effort it takes for me to sell something, you know, when I sell something for, like, I am just stopping listing things that are under $5. I went through tubs and tubs of Star Wars figures and literally made me a huge pile that on May the 4th, I'm going to watch a bunch of Star Wars movies and tear open these toys that I know I have in my collection somewhere packed away, but because they're worthless. Like, it's not worth my time to take 6 pictures of them and catalog them and then list them on eBay. And I've got a really fucking tight system that squeezed every second out of what it takes to list something. And I'm just in like a nightmare right now trying to get rid of stuff. So unless if you're looking at this as a money-making venture, unless you're willing to just blow it out on pennies on the dollar at some time in the near future, I would really suggest to not look at it that way, because it's just not turning out to be that way. And there's lots of stuff I'm making money on, quote, making money on. But when you factor in my time, the effort, all that kind of shit, like, I've done the math. I make about $3 an hour right now. Now, the good thing is I've already spent all that money. So that money's gone. So I make a lot more if you don't factor in what I paid for the things. Like, making $3,000 a month on eBay is amazing, but I paid $2,500 for those toys that I sold for $3,000, you know? So that means I'm making $500 a month working fucking 150 hours a month about, you know. I'm not working 40. I don't sit down and do 8 to 5 selling toys. Like, I still do all my volunteer work and all this kind of stuff, but it is not worth it. Buy what you love. And if you're ready to get out of collecting, start selling it. It's a good time. I mean, values are up, you know. just because Power of the Force only goes for $2 a figure doesn't mean that Serpentor doesn't go for $200. You know, it's a good time to be buying, and hopefully those tariffs make it an even better time. So, all right. Anybody got any last thought? Oh, we got a lot. Oh, I didn't see these hidden comments here. Let's see. I'll go through these comments, and then we'll ask for last thoughts. And a lot of these are Cliff. So. Brink says the Brazil version was the red mainframe, correct? Yes, you are correct.
Yep.
Let's see. Brinkalizer says maybe it's 420 somewhere type of thing. Yeah. Well, we used to do that too. I mean, it would be 220. Like we'd be ditching 6th period in high school in 220, and we'd be like, it's 420 in New York, man. You know. Let's see. Latin Legion says, damn, Slick, that's an average of 1 figure a day. I just called myself a toy hoarder. Oh, dude, if you could see this desk, well, you can kind of see, right? Yeah, no, you're missing.
This is you're going off track.
Oh, no, I'm tying the comments. Come on. Let's see. Bring Black Series to show. Bring it back from a show. No one wants it. Yeah. And this is kind of awful, but I had a Black family come up and they bought all of my Black Series. So they bought my Moff Gideons, my Landos, and all those. Again, dirt cheap, like $5 a figure, but that's the only way I got rid of some of my Black Series was that one like niche sale there. Let's see. Brinkalizer sells at New Jersey Comic-Con, and Amazon retailers come. If I have a sealed stuff at blowout prices, they clean your table out. I love it when these guys come by. Yeah, that's another thing. If you want to fucking sell shit for $50-$60 on Amazon. And that's, I get one local toy store where they always come and hit my table as I'm unloading, and they want to do bulk deals and all this kind of stuff. And I always fucking, even though I really don't like their store, they're one of the highest priced stores in town. I do cater to them a little bit, and we'll do big bulk deals just to, before the show even opens, I've sold $200-$300 worth of stuff to them. Let's see. When I sell at a show, it's not about making overall profit. It's about regaining real estate in my home. Yeah, and that's what I was trying to do. I was just trying to blow stuff out, and I did pretty good. I sold $1,000 worth of stuff at blowout prices, so that's quite a bit of shit. Like I sold 76 Power of the Force figures for $150. So that was 2 big tubs right there, but all right. Well, Cliff, thank you for hanging in there for an extra half an hour, even though you actually weren't on the show for that extra half an hour.
I was working. To get back.
And Lotus, thank you for coming on. I was hoping you might.
Yeah, man.
I looked at the last State of Collecting episode, and it had a screenshot, and it was you, Rock, and AAA along with me, Cliff, and Roger. So
me and Roger were weeping. Probably like. But yeah, I'll post the direct link to my eBay store in the group on Facebook once I get it open.
Yeah, and start doing all that fun stuff. Yeah, and like I say, check out my eBay store. Like I say, offer you a 15% discount, but then shipping might be double what you see on eBay. So who knows? But well, right on. That's the State of Collecting in 2025. I'm actually excited to maybe do one in the next 6 months and maybe every figure is double the price, and fucking everybody is saying I don't buy new toys anymore. All I do is buy shit on Amazon or what's in stock. You know, that'll be a boom for sellers like me. So, all right, motherfuckers. Well, real quick, thank you for being here, Latin Legion's Action Figure Podcast. Brinkalizer was here. Red Menace was here. Who else do we have?
He can't wrap up a show, Lotus. He cannot. He's got to keep stretching it. He's just stretching it.
Mark Sprick 77, good old Mark Haddock was here. Cowabunga Dude AAA, Absolute Collecting joined us for a while. Evo King Macro Cranius was here. And I think that's it. So we will see motherfuckers sooner rather than later.
Peace. Peace.
Secret powers